Does that background music constantly keep going?
No, it don't constantly keep going, dude. Hold on a second. Okay, whatever, man.
Or turn it down. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm about to cut it off. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to cut it off. You know, we like music people, Goob. You know how we are.
Yeah.
We music people. You know what I mean?
That music wasn't funky enough for me though.
Yes, sir. That's true.
No, that's just the
you need
what
to
do you
some
call
Roger
it?
on there.
It's a Roger, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the little setup stuff, man. But anyway, that's brother Daniel, man. He one of my co-hosts. And Stan, you know.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
Stan, you better stop doing this shit. You know, these females watching you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Stan.
Okay.
But anyway,
Stan,
exactly. Stan, how long was you?
I get used to this.
28 years.
28 years.
You're frozen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Who's frozen? Who's frozen, Daniel?
You're frozen.
We not frozen. You frozen, Goob?
No, sir.
No, sir. Yes, your phone, Daniel.
I had a cousin just retired from the police force in Philly as a detective.
Yeah. But here's the topic that I want to talk about, man, because I'm going to have Mark Short come up later. He a fireman. This is what I want to talk about, man. What is the problem with FBA'S, blacks not wanting to become sheriffs and police officers? First, Google, give us your background. How did you become a police officer in Chicago?
How? I mean, what do you mean how? What I took the test. I put in. No.
Before that, when because that's not what you was trying to do, right? You was trying to be an artist because
at the time I was working in investment banking, the same company. I don't know if anybody saw The Wolf of Wall Street, but I was working for the same company, Oppenheimer. No, not Oppenheimer. L.F. Rothschild in Chicago, and a guy who I guess who was in The Wolf of Wall Street. I guess he was doing it in New York, but he had started before me. But I was going through the same procedure to try to get a Series 7 to trade or manage people's portfolios, just like he did, and make a bunch of money. Because I had some friends doing it, and I asked them, how did you all get into that? They said, yeah, we got picked up as a caller, and then one of the brokers sponsored us, and then it was that's when the market crashed. They called it Black Monday, and they couldn't pay me as a cold caller, and I had put in to be notified for police and fire because of what I call my big brothers, who were police officers in the neighborhood, and they used to always say, "Man, you should be the police. You should put in the police." I said, "Well, that's not what I really want to do." And they said, "Well, you just go ahead and put it in anyway. Go down to City Hall, so you can be notified to be a fire. Anything that you could be qualified for, just put in to give yourself the option." Right. And they said, you can get the job, but you don't have to take it. But at least you had the option. I said, well, that makes some sense. That's a strategic move. Sorry, And so I did that. And at the time when the market was crashing, I couldn't make any money, and we were bouncing around from different firms. And I just had bus fare to get to work and hardly lunch money at an investment banking firm because of the market crash. I got a letter from the police department saying that I was accepted to the academy, and I was going to start on have a salary. And I hadn't made that type of money in my life. And they offered medical benefits and paid vacations and paid for reimbursement for education. I'm like, hey, that's where I went. Because I had this real bad habit called eating.
Right.
And so I took that job. And then, I had to take care of my, as you know, I had to take care of my grandmother because my grandfather had passed, and I had to step up
Right.
and
I
make some
remember that.
money, and had to make some money. And it was a solid job. And I had a lot of big brothers who were doing the job. They said it's a good job. And thank God I listened to them. And that's how I became, got into the police academy, and the rest was history. I was getting paid, and I was getting, the rest was history. It was, that's how I got into the police department. But that wasn't my goal in the beginning. I was into the arts, into different things, and
Right.
it was my path into it because I had some big brothers that looked like me and talked to me, and I had a relationship with them. And it wasn't like it was some strangers, and all I see them is they trying to get me, and I
Right. Right.
had people
Right.
that I could talk to,
Right.
like yourself, big
Right.
brothers. I had big brothers.
Right. So you ended up doing that for 28 years.
28 years, y'all. 28 years.
Man. And so are you happy you did it now? Like, you happy you took that choice and made that move?
It was the
Because
best choice. It was the best choice at the time because I have friends who did do the other things, and I mean, I got a pension. I got a pension. I get paid a certain amount of money with the cost of living increase every year for the rest of my life. So as long as I keep living, my pension goes up and up and up. I got medical benefits. I get my teeth cleaned. I get my teeth fixed. I got health insurance
everything.
until
Yeah.
until I get to the age of Medicare, and then the police start taking out for Medicare. So once I get that, I'm covered medically. So I ain't got to worry about some type of medical unless there's new administration. We ain't gonna go into that
Right.
changing something, but I'm covered medically, and I got income coming in, so I don't have to do nothing, and I'm never gonna be destitute.
No,
And if I
never.
and anything else I do now is extra, or I can choose. It's so yeah, I'm happy I made that choice.
Man, that's awesome, brother. So let me ask you this, man. In uh being a FBA or black police officer, um, when you're dealing with the community, like, how is that for you all? Like, when you in the hood, how is that for you all?
See, I started off in the projects,
Okay.
so I mean, so how it for you all, for me, I can tell you about me.
Hmm.
I mean, first of all, I can identify with people of because I understand their situation, I understand their background, I understand where they're coming from, I understand their struggles, and I can relate. And so it's not like I'm coming from because they had some on because I knew some guys who were on the job. They came from like the country, the suburban areas, like not even suburban, like the country areas of Illinois, because they knew they were hiring for the police and got on, and they had never had the city experience. I'm trying to figure out. It's a place near Rockford, and it's next to Rockford, because Rockford slows down when you get out there, but then next to it, even though they got some things going on in Rockford, but then it was I forgot it was a small town because I had been to that town before. It's like a farm town kind of.
Is it like East
And this
Illinois?
kid came from there, and I'm like, so he didn't grow up in the city. I grew up in the city, and so I don't think he got the job because he knew it was a good job. But it's like it's a difference. He can relate to these people in the projects. He don't, he can't, it's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I can relate. Everybody's different. Everybody comes from different backgrounds and stuff, and everyone who goes through the police academy, they have to go through their state exams. They go through training, and everybody gets that badge, that gun, and the power of that pen. But everyone has a different personality attached to that, and how they approach and deal with a situation is totally different than the next man.
That's true. That's true.
So that's
So
the
so
same thing with any position. If you were the president of the United States and you come from humble beginnings, or if you come where you ain't never had to lift a finger in your life and you've always been given $250,000 to do whatever you want to do, you don't know how it is on the other side, so you can't relate.
that's true.
So that's with every job. So that's what I'm saying with the police job. You that's the same situation that you get with the police. Everybody has these powers, and you can change somebody's life, but depending on how you deal, and that's the thing with life, anyways, how you deal with a situation. Somebody, a situation come to you or the next man, but everybody may handle it a different way. Some people will handle it in a calm, cool, collected way, and some people just can't understand, and they just go ballistic and go crazy on it. So,
Right, right.
you know.
So you think that growing up in Chatham, because we grew up in Chatham, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Do you think that growing up in Chatham made a difference on how you viewed uh, dealing with people as a police officer?
Well, I think wherever you come from, it's like is how you're gonna deal with people, what you are exposed to, and what you are accustomed to, and and the knowledge that you have, with people and dealing with people. Some people, if you live in a little small farm town, and I give you, I give you a little story. I have a friend. He married a girl from New Hampshire. He was black and she was white, and she had moved from New Hampshire, and I'd never been to New Hampshire, and she said she was from a little country town in New Hampshire, and everybody knows how small New Hampshire is.
Right,
And she moved to Chicago, and she says, you know what, I never really saw black people until I came to Chicago. I always just, saw them on TV, and that just blew my mind. I'm like, wow. She said they would come to Chicago. I mean, come to New Hampshire every once in a while. They would come to town, and it was like a rare specimen of animal that came in. It's like,
right,
but it's
right.
like her impression was what she saw on TV. So,
So
I come from a diverse, area community. Even though I lived in Chatham, I never just stayed in Chatham. I went to the north side. I went further south. I went to the east
right,
side. I went to the west side. I was downtown in the heart of the loop. So and then from Chicago, being from Chicago, you don't really realize until you leave Chicago that, hey, I'm from Chicago. It's a lot of diversity here. It's a lot of opportunity here. It's this, that going on. And when you leave Chicago, unless you go to, you can go to other cities, but ain't nothing. And when you go to New York, you get it. You're like, okay, I get New York. It's just like Chicago. It's just, and matter of fact, you turn it up a little bit. You can turn it up and a little
right,
bit, but when you leave Chicago, you go any place else, and everything slows down a little bit. Even though you mean
right,
it's a city, but it's still things slow down, and you just realize, So basically, I'm saying all that too. Environment makes a big difference, and your surroundings and who you're around, and you know your life experiences. So, like I said, if you want to sit on a farm and you just got the cows and the dogs and cats and you just see people on television, that's your perception of a race or a people.
right. So growing up in Chatham, we never. Here's the thing. I just don't ever remember being stopped by any police officers. I don't. I remember the up at Cole Park. Uh, in most parks, that's where they recruit gang members at the parks. I just never remember us in a big group, and you was a little younger than us, but ever, walking down the street, walking down 83rd, walking down 79th, ever being stopped. I just don't remember that. You know what I mean? And
Right,
those
right.
it was a lot of we had a lot of police officers that lived in our area and judges, but I just don't ever remember stops. So I think our idea of the police was probably a little bit different.
And we did have a decent area where we lived in. It was stuff still going on, but it wasn't like some areas is hot. You got if you go certain areas like, because I when I got out of the academy, I went straight to the projects. And certain areas is hot where they just on the corner slinging and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It wasn't like, I guess we had slingers in our neighborhood, but they was real suave about it. They wasn't like just on the corner, you know.
Right,
I
right.
guess
You have to
you
go
know
to you
they
have to go to the basement in the back. Yeah.
yeah knock on the door or something, or
Right,
you
right,
know,
right, right.
because you
Plus, we
can't let
know them.
everybody know your business, their business or whatever. They was a little more discreet, I guess, you know, because
Right.
that's going on in everybody's neighborhood, even the rich neighborhood. Everybody's, you know, it's something like that going on. But so we didn't. It's like if it was, I guess the caliber of the neighborhood, if it was a lot more, you know, a lot more destitute or whatever, it might be, and it depends on how much problems they were having. You might get stopped and stuff, but we didn't have a lot of issues, major issues like that when we were growing up. At least when I was growing up, even though there were problems, but it wasn't so. It wasn't. I wouldn't call it was a hot neighborhood.
Right. So Daniel in Philly. So how was it in Philly when you grew up, Daniel?
Oh, can y'all hear me?
I can't hear.
We could,
Yeah,
I
I
can.
lived a section of my life in good areas and bad areas. I lived in the
It
projects
says
with my
having
aunt.
trouble connecting.
Uh,
This is often
can
called.
y'all hear me?
Okay, well I
I
can hear you
can
now.
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you
Well,
now.
I grew up in different sections. I grew up in the different sections of Philly. I lived in good parts of Philly, and I lived in good parts of Philly. I lived in Richard Allen Projects, a section of my life with my aunt. I did security and worked for Scotland Yard. I worked in the projects. That was one of the first places that sent us. I worked in all the projects in Philly. I worked with the
Okay.
housing police inside a booth,
Okay.
and I was able to relate to
You
the
cut
people
out.
because
I can hear him now.
I was one of them. Now we
Right.
did have some security guards who wasn't from the area. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest, a lot of them got messed up because they couldn't relate to
I
the
can I
people.
can't even hear you now. Let me see. Let me see if I can
No, I can
Oh,
hear
can
you.
y'all hear me?
So
turn my
I can
Wi-Fi
hear you.
on.
You're fine.
Maybe
That's
it's me.
good. That's good with that bullshit phone. We bring him back up later. Go ahead, Daniel.
Is it my phone?
No, no,
Yeah,
your
like I
phone's
said,
fine.
I mean, I grew up in different sections of the city. I grew up in good parts and bad parts,
So let me ask
and
you
I
this,
just
Daniel. How was the police interaction, police departments with you in Philly?
well back in the '70s, growing up, or the early '80s, when Rizzo was running things, it was like a different. It was like a lot, a lot of bad things going on, like the move people that got bombed on Osage Avenue. You heard about the
Right.
move people getting bombed by the police?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that there was a lot of friction back then. But as time has gone on, it has gotten a little better. But
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I have a cousin that was a detective. He just retired. He was a detective.
Okay. So so
And a lot of
so
areas in Philly was. Go ahead.
go no Philly like Chicago.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Yeah, especially depending on what part it is. Because Philly had nice
Yeah,
areas.
they got good parts of Philly. You also got some rough parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Just like Chicago. Peel Hill,
yeah,
Chatham, and those kind of areas
yep,
were like really good. But then, like Goob said, he they as soon as he became a cop, they put him down in the projects. That's a
yeah,
whole different
yeah. I
perspective.
worked in the projects.
You know what I mean? So my
Yeah,
thing is,
I worked in all the projects. Raymond Rosa was on Don Street. Go ahead.
because I want to know um, why,
Hello.
yeah, blacks are young blacks have a problem with the police reports and the fire department. That's what I want to know. Why is there? They were saying how. Okay, Goob, explain how the police department goes and recruits.
They have like at colleges and stuff, and they'll have like they'll have a little recruitment thing. If you don't know about it, you see the advertisement, either you see it and you attracted to it and you go to it for these job fairs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And basically that's about it. I mean, Do they come to? I don't know. They ain't come to my high school or nothing. Not high school, nothing like that. But they would be at different job fairs in different places like that. But if they were more aggressive, they would have events at the park districts where kids come frequently, and they can have a better relationship, and they can talk to officers and just let them know, no, they're just regular people with jobs, just doing, because the only thing they see is always the negative stuff, because that's what the news, always puts. They hardly show the good stuff, the good side. They always show the negative, 'cause that's what sells. That's what gets the ratings and stuff. But if they had more, situation where they would give events at the park, like have basketball games and with kids at the park, so they can get a different relationship with them playing basketball on the court, let them know they just regular people, and they can talk, and then they say, oh man, these guys are pretty cool, they just got a good job, so they would get a different perspective and constantly seeing the negative side of them beating somebody up or something like that. So
Right.
that's with anything. So that's like a public relation type of situation. They call it caps here. So I mean, if you got, I guess it starts with the mayors and it goes to the chief of police, because the mayor's over the police, chief of police. And if that's something they really trying to push, if that's where they're trying to put money to build up the police department to have a better community, it starts like a grassroots thing. So, it starts up top.
Right.
I mean, unless you have people in the community that are going to the police station and going to their public relations, or what we call caps here, and say, hey, we would like to have this, and ask for that, and could you guys come here, come to the park, and we have a police day where we have a softball game with the police and in the community, or we have different things so you can interact with police instead of just when they are giving somebody a ticket, or they chasing somebody with a gun or something. And so they can have different interactions with the police and stuff. That would help a lot, but I think that comes from the top.
It does come from the top. So let me ask Daniel.
The top.
Daniel, do you think that as a whole, our young people have been brainwashed against the police department, sheriff's department, fire department, in some kind of way where they're not really joining up and trying to induct themselves into those communities?
Yes, it's some type of stigma. It's some of our people. A segment of our people do have a stigma of becoming a police officer or a firefighter.
So, what do you think it is? What's the stigma?
I guess they think you. I guess the stigma is, oh man, I don't know if it's just some type of stigma. I don't know if
it's
I guess they
programming.
feel like
It's
they might be a
TV.
sellout or something.
That's part of it.
Yeah,
TV. I mean, back in the
yes,
day,
sir.
Dad, tell me, we saw Shaft, right? You saw Shaft, right?
Right.
Yeah,
That was
that was my show. I like the Shaft.
okay.
That was
There
my.
we go. We need more stuff like that. We need more heroes. I mean, we need more black heroes. Period. When we had the Wakanda, everybody went crazy because they were starving for a black hero, but starving for a black superhero. We don't have nothing like that. We need to start having these better images for our kids.
But we have a couple of black brothers who are. We got a couple of black brothers, man, who are putting out those movies. They just not being promoted.
Because guess who's controlling that? You have to be, we have to be more in control, because media is powerful, man. Media is powerful. I saw this one girl. She said she's an attorney. She's a corporate attorney, and she's black. And she says what made me want to be an attorney, because I used to watch the Huxtables, and his wife was an attorney. That's what made me, growing up seeing that. That's why I'm an attorney now. She's an attorney and a corporate attorney, and so there it is. If we have
imaging.
So we need putting out these movies, and this music is powerful, but it's controlled by
different groups,
by a group that knows how powerful it is, and they subliminally keep us suppressed. Just like I was watching a podcast with Matt Barnes, and he had what's his name, who played. I think he played for the Nuggets, and he was turning Muslim, and they blackballed him. And he got Michael Jordan's butt and gave him and served him like a 40 or 50 piece one time. And Mike gave him say, "Hey, this dude was D. I can't think of the name. He was light skinned dude, Muslim. I forgot his name. But if you go to Matt Barnes' podcast, he talks about, he says how he started changing.
I think his name was he played for the Denver Nuggets.
Right.
Yeah, they said he was.
Yeah, he was real good too.
His first step at Curry.
Yeah, you should, when you get a chance, try to promote back Matt Barnes. But I just recently saw that today, and he was talking about, even though he was successful making all this money, he said he never felt that he could elevate, or he was successful, because he said he started thinking about it. He says growing up, because he was from Mississippi. I didn't know he was from Mississippi. Then he played for Louisiana, and he was talking about growing up. I used to see Sanford and Son, and they would work at a junkyard, and they said like every time something that would work for them to get out of the situation, they would always pull them back in. He said, and then she said, I started thinking about it. He says, I said, well, I've been programmed to not figure that I can't make it or get out, even though I was making all this money and I should have been enjoying my life. And they said, for some reason I wasn't happy or something, because I kept feeling that I was going to fail. I was worried that something was going to happen. And that's when he said he started changing and turn into who he was. He said I can see from all this television and stuff, we've been programmed as a people. And so controlling the media, and we like Tyler Perry, the stuff he puts out, he making his money, but we need to control our own media, our music, and what happened to Tribe Called Quest and music? What happened to the message with, you don't push me, all this good stuff. This stuff actually are frequencies that are put out here that change kids' lives.
Yeah, frequencies are very important, because for the simple fact that our brains are programmed to understand and listen to frequencies. And I think that as a people, I think that we don't understand the spirituality of frequencies. I think that certain groups have been taught that spirituality of frequencies. I don't think we have.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
We had it a long time ago. They knew the power of that, so we weren't taught that. They kept that from us, so we wouldn't know the power of that to achieve. There's a lot of stuff like they keep stuff from, like they trying to take books out of the history classes and you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So all that this is part of the problem. We need more positive image. We need to start putting more positive messages out, and music. Like I say, who controls the music industry are people who finance the prison systems.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Goo. We have to look at it from a perspective of how we're going to move around. As FBA'S, we got to look at the true perspective of how we actually going to move around, right? So we have to move around in a way where think about this, right? They talked about Target. We boycotted Target, right? And I think Daniel, because Daniel's got Daniel, are you there? I unmuted him. But anyway, I looked at, and I want to get off topic, but I looked at 9% of Black Americans. And I'm not gonna get. Okay, Daniel, I'm muting you. Okay,
it was 15.
You got too much stuff going on. 9% of Black Americans only, Target only pulls in 9% of Black Americans to shop there, right? Then I looked at how Target does business. So Target buys their products up front, right? So that means that if I'm selling the product for $5 and I'm selling it to Target for $8, or $9. Target takes the product, buys it up front, and put it all across America.
And marks it up and resells it. I'm sorry to interject, but I have an associate who owns a nationwide distribution company, and I was trying to get a product with him. I'm working on getting the product with him. I want to work on getting the product with him since I have this access to this situation. And what he would do, he would buy the product from me at wholesale,
right,
in bulk, and then mark it up 30%. But he would buy it from me. After he bought it from me, we're done. So I made my money, but he bought it at a discount, and then he marks it up 30%.
Right. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
I mean, that's just the way they do business. It ain't nobody's fault, but
that's the fact. That's how they do business. So when I go back to,
that's how business is done. They buy low, sell high. They get it at a discount, but they buy.
So when I go back to Target, if your product and you got your product and it costs you $5 to make it, you just sold it to Target for $9. Target sells it for $9.99. But here's the difference. You got paid all your money up front from Target. So whether your product sells or not, you got your money.
Exactly.
So why boycott them? Listen, I want to go there, Goo. We gotta stay on topic. We gotta stay on topic, Goo, because we could go into some other stuff, right? Because you dealt with distribution people, and you dealt with that in your music, film, and just other things, right? So I got to get you back on here so we can really break this down. You know what I mean? So back to police officers. What is the problem with young Black males and females not wanting to sign up with the sheriff department, police department, fire department, FBI department? That's the problem. Because here's the thing, and I'm not saying this in a racial way. Whites infiltrated those departments. That's just real. They infiltrated those departments. So now, and I've seen it down in Bronzeville. Something happens, and I look up, and it's 15 white police officers.
I got an answer for you.
How y'all down here? Why y'all down here?
I got an answer for you.
Go ahead.
Because it's not enough Black officers wanting to do the job, even though it's a good job, and two, they are not promoting it to make it attractive to the Black community. So check it out. So they don't. So guess what? Who's going to be running? Who's going to be running things? It could be by design to make it not appealing for us, Black and brown, to take the job. So they are deterred. So they don't want to. So who's going to take it? It could be by design. I'm just saying it could be. That's a theory. That's a theory that I just came up with.
Yeah,
so
but
now,
okay, I get you. Go ahead, I'm listening.
So, but if effort was put into for these, like I say, for a public relation thing where they are interacting with the community, and seeing that other imagery on TV and other things that influence kids, just like I said, I told you the woman who's a very successful corporate attorney got her influence from watching Bill Cosby in the Huxtables. So we need more positive interaction, and we need more positive role models on TV and music and interaction events to where they can interact with police in positive ways, so they can see another light instead of always being chased by the police, being shot by the police, and all the negative stuff. Because it is a lot of positive stuff that police, and for also, if change is to happen, it has to happen. We have to be the ones to change. We need more on there so we can change it.
I agree.
So it's a public relations type of thing, and it's a media type of thing. That's just my answer. So you have to make it more appealing for, like, if, like, when you saw Shaft, you, like I said, you saw Shaft, you was fired up. You wanted to do that. You want to go get the bad guy in the community.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
other, who we had? We had, what, the Mod Squad. We had one brother on the Mod Squad. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Wow.
Remember that?
Never-
Remember the Mod Squad?
Yeah.
You like,
Yeah.
damn, you
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the joint
Right.
back in the
Right.
day.
That's real though. That's real
that
though.
made you say, when you saw that brother with that afro, you like, man, I could do that too.
Right.
Serious.
Right. Right. The Mod Squad. Right.
You forgot all about that, didn't you?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
But then when you was young, didn't I say, wow, I never seen, didn't you like, wow, there's a black detective dude. That's cool. I want to do that. Serious.
Yeah. But here's the thing. We got enough images.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
I don't think so.
Okay. So
I think we need more. We need more images.
We can always need more, but we got enough. Okay. And let's just keep it a buck. We got brothers who play or police departments, and like, for instance, I'm gonna show you something. All right. Let's mess with this brother here. Let me share my screen real quick. All right. And let's see what this brother talking about right here. Let's pop up on him real quick. And you know what I'm saying? Now Goob, I'm new at this, right? You know what I'm saying? So let's check him out.
Anthony Collins' childhood in Tampa's College Hill neighborhood.
It was not uncommon to come outside and the police have people proned out in my backyard, from vehicle pursuits, from foot pursuits. It wasn't uncommon. The helicopter in general wasn't uncommon. It was a very frequent occurrence.
With a strict upbringing, he didn't have direct contact with police, but he sometimes questioned the actions that he witnessed. Mentors challenged him to do something about it.
And they said, hey, you got no right to complain about anything if you don't put yourself in a position to affect change. And the only way to affect change is to be a part of the solution.
That solution has led to a 17-year career with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Today, Major Collins is a highly decorated officer commanding District 5, one of the busiest in Hillsborough County.
Have you had any pushback from people in the African-American community questioning your career choice?
Some folks, and typically it's the people who are kind of still in the phase of getting to know me. People who when they're in the process of building that relationship and they don't know you, and they don't know I had a family member who was arrested by the same agency I work for. They don't know some of the issues that I dealt with growing up in the same community. But once they get to break down those barriers and they say, man, maybe this guy gets it.
Major Collins admits there's a difference in how he's treated when he's in and out of uniform.
Yet I could go to Walmart today in uniform and everybody's jumping over, falling over their feet to speak. And I can go to the same Walmart tomorrow in plain clothes and I got 15 people looking at me like they don't know what I'm going to go do at the store. So other than spend money. So from a broader sense, I think those are some of the societal issues that we are seeing right now is, yeah, there is a difference when I'm in uniform versus when I'm out of uniform.
Across stands the challenges of being Black and being blue.
We all love this uniform. That's the reason why we became police officers. So we try to honor both. When I take this uniform off, I'm a black man. When I have this uniform on, I'm a black man. And I'm still a police officer. So like you said, that line is fine, because what happens is the people in the see you a different way. And sometimes when you're out there, people either see you as black.
Okay, so listen, did y'all hear it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir, I heard
Exactly. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
Because I'm new at that. You know, so my question is,
Yes, sir.
is
Can I ask both of y'all a question, if you don't mind?
yeah, go ahead, D. Go ahead, B. Go ahead. I hear somebody's music.
I wanted to give y'all opinion. I would like for y'all to touch on the Ferguson situation with the incident that happened in Ferguson, Missouri. Then when I did my research, I found that it was predominantly black, but they had no black people in the police force.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have no answer for that. I mean, because what's the talking in the background? Somebody got something going in the background?
It's not me. My microphone is muted.
Okay, Daniel, you got stuff going in the background?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get out of here. Hold on. Let me get out of here. Hold on. Got the TV on. Hold on. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, Goob,
all right.
Go ahead. Okay. Goob, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of interesting how, Ferguson. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Because I want you to talk to Goob so y'all can chop it up. Because Goob know the game. Daniel, you there?
Yeah, he's frozen.
We're not frozen. Me and Goob are not frozen. You're frozen.
He's still muted. Who's
I'm not
muted?
saying nothing. I'm muted.
He ain't saying nothing. We're listening to you.
We listen to you. Waiting to hear what you have to say. Yeah, I have no answer for Ferguson. Why there weren't why there weren't African American officers there? I can't answer. I have no question. I have no answer for that. I don't know.
Right.
I have no answer.
Okay, so Daniel, you popped up again. Okay, I don't get it. All right. So, all right.
Oh man, I got two people.
Yeah. But
I don't need
but I'm about to get rid of one of y'all. Okay. Okay, so now go ahead. Are you there, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm here. I was going to ask you another question. Did y'all have a police athletic league in Chicago, like in Philly?
Yeah, they have a football team. They have a baseball team. I mean, I think they have a softball team. But they had a football team. They play the fire department every once in a while. I wasn't much involved in that. And, I hear about the games and stuff, but I don't know how often they do that. But it's but they do have some. They do have something. I just wasn't a part of that. So I can't elaborate on a lot of that. So
Well, in Philadelphia, they had the police athletic league, where they would work with the community and teach them, they had basketball teams. They played different police athletic leagues around the city. Like you had the Overbrook PAL, that was the Overbrook PAL, Germantown PAL Police Athletic League. Overbrook Powell Police. Everybody had a police athletic league. And a lot of youths would play for those basketball teams. They played baseball. They played little league baseball, basketball. I think they played football too.
That's what I was talking about earlier. It needs more
And that was the interaction that the people in the neighborhood had with the police.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying that's what I was saying. They need more interaction, like that type of stuff, where interaction with the community, so they can just see police as regular people instead of always seeing them in a uniform. Because we are stigmatized when you're in a uniform. Like I say, if I put on a uniform, I can walk up to anybody anywhere. I'm cool. I put on some regular clothes. Sometimes I'm treated like. I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna say Lil Wayne without the money.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
I'm serious. I mean, it's a joke. That's a joke.
Right.
That's a joke.
It's a joke, but it's real.
Right. Yeah. It's like, but I said I'm the same. I said they don't like a lot of times people looking at me, and I'm dressed like civilian, but and I look younger. People think I look younger than what I am. I'm not gonna say my age, but I'm older. I was old enough to retire. And they look at me like I'm one of these younger cats, and a lot of times I'm older than the people that are looking at me strange and stuff. And they don't know my history, they don't know my background, they don't know my education, they don't know what my profession was, they don't know what I'm doing now. But you just get that's a society thing, that's society. You see the wait, I got this just made me think of something. You see the commercial with Snoop Dogg and what's the name, the quarterback, how they going at each other, talking about, you don't look like me, you don't talk like me. Anybody seen that commercial yet?
I haven't seen it.
It's what's the quarterback?
No, I haven't seen it.
Bradley, what's the name, who retired from the Patriots? Him and Snoop Dogg. It's a commercial. It's a commercial, and they're like Snoop Dogg is saying, I don't like you because you this and you that, and then the quarterback is he's saying, and you don't talk like me, you don't da 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 da, and then at the end of it, they walk away. They say, man, things are so bad, we got to make a commercial about this stupid stuff. But I've seen that commercial. You could probably put it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
You never seen that commercial? It's on national television. At least it's coming in Chicago. What's the quarterback that won all the rings? I can't think of his name right now. Come on, help me out.
And he played for who?
The Patriots. What's the most decorated quarterback, won more rings than anybody?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. There you go. Him and Tom Brady got a commercial out. Snoop Dogg is current, and Snoop Dogg, he got his braids, and he's looking in the mic, said, "You don't look like me. You don't talk like me. You don't wear the same, stuff like that." And Tom Brady says, "Well, you don't talk like me." And at the end of the way, he says, "You different. And then afterwards, him and Snoop are walking away as friends. They say, "This things that got so bad, we got to make a commercial about this stupid stuff."
What?
Yeah, that's running. I put it up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg commercial, and they talking about going at it like this. It's stupid. It's programming. It's a lot of programming. This TV stuff is owned by, again, in the music industry is owned by companies, and they push this ghetto music. And this has come out. This is people. If people are saying they've heard meetings about this and have been in meetings where that they fund, they have private prison systems, and they put out this ghetto music to influence these kids to do all this derogatory stuff, so they can go to prison, so they can fulfill their private prisons, which makes more money than the music industry. So they're making money putting out this music, and then they're pushing this ghetto music to influence these kids to do all this stuff, so they can go to jail. And they're making money off the music industry, and they're making money off the private prison system, which makes more money than the music industry. And this is a fact. These are people coming out saying they've been to these meetings.
No, I agree with that. But let me ask you this: if having more Black police officers in those areas, does that make a difference?
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Because that's why. But now, what's the stigma that young blacks don't want to be police officers or fire
because of the negative imagery. I just told you, because the negative imagery. Because the negative. First of all, these new kids, they on TikTok. They want to be influencers. They want to, they want to be rappers. Everybody can't be a rapper. They making this a lot of money doing less things with this new technology, with this internet. And they not, a lot of the I don't know, man. It's
Right.
deep, it's a different day and age, man. It's a whole new generation. People are making money being influencers.
So understanding this, right? For instance, okay, let me pull this up real quick. All the youngsters is out here that want to see this. We're gonna pull this up.
You should you can put that commercial up, man. It's deep. I was surprised when I saw that commercial.
Yeah, we're gonna pull it up.
With Brady and Snoop Dogg. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube because it comes on TV. I was just had the TV on and it came up. Snoop Dogg was yelling in the screen, looking all crazy.
So all you youngsters, this is where Chicago Police Department and in different states is different. This is their starting salary. And in 18 months, they had 88,000. Is that true or false, Goob?
That's real. Health benefits.
They have everything.
School reimbursement. School reimbursement. You get an A, you get 100%. You borrow some money, you go to school, you get an A, you get 100% of your money back. You get a B, you get 75% of your money back. You get C, and so on. So you can use the department to get a degree. You get a law degree, paid for, and while you're making money. Ain't nobody says it's gonna be easy.
Right, you gotta work for it.
Yeah, you gotta make your lung. You gotta suck into air. You gotta suck in some air. You gotta make it happen. You gotta, but there are systems in place for you to achieve if you want it. But like I said, a lot of the people want. These younger kids are seeing people, influencers. I was watching the Shannon Sharp show. They had this kid, I think he was 17, 18. He was a millionaire at 16 because at 14, 15, he started some type of podcast show where he was basically he was a content creator.
Right.
And in his demographic, they were just drawn to him because of his age demographic. And he had so many kids from that demographic, he started getting sponsors. And by the time he was 16 years old, he was a millionaire. I saw this on the Shannon Sharp show. And
this is real.
Yeah, this is real. He's 16, a millionaire. So kids see this. They don't want to be the police.
No, that's real.
But everybody can't do that. Everybody can't be.
Right. Because so now here it is right here. I'm looking at, if I don't know if y'all can see it, it's saying the Illinois State Police offers a starting salary of $90,000 for new troopers.
90
upon graduation
G's.
From 90 G's.
90,000.
90,000. Like, understand this is a prestige job. It's a job with benefits and all health benefits, and they'll pay for you to go to school and get your law degree. And that's why I got it up here. As of March 19, 2025, the Illinois State Police offers a starting salary over 19,000 for new troopers upon graduation from the Illinois State Police.
You said 19. Is it 90 or 19? You just said 19. It can't be
90.
90,000. You got people come with getting degrees out of college ain't making 90,000.
90,000.
Starting out.
You can imagine what that is in 18
months. I would say this. That's better than getting a student loan because I graduated in 96 and still owe these people money.
That's correct.
If I'd have known all this back then, I would have did that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of these kids don't know that. Maybe a lot of these kids don't understand that.
They don't understand that.
They don't have positive figures like yourself going out and talking to these kids and educating them on these facts. And the only
They
thing
don't
they're getting
understand that,
a negative images and negative stuff that that's turning them away. And it's like, okay, well, if you became the police, then you could change that. You could be that cop that's actually doing the right thing and helping people. Because
Right.
that's what I did, I
You can make a difference. You can make a difference.
Right. So let me ask you this.
I was looking to help people and because I understood their situations and stuff. And I wasn't there trying, I just want to take you down. I want to take you down. Because some of them have personal, some people have personal, like I say, everybody gets their job and has a different personality, or background or perspective, and handles it different. Like you say, if you got more people that grew up in the
Right.
city, they understand, they can relate to their own people and understand why they fighting over the Kool-Aid. I went to jobs where they were fighting over the Kool-Aid with knives in the projects, trying to kill each other. You
That's
get there like,
crazy.
what are y'all fighting over? We get there, the domestic, what are y'all fighting over? She drank the last Kool-Aid. I'm like, are you serious? And they got knives out.
What?
I can't even make this stuff up, man.
What?
I got a whole,
What?
I got a whole bunch of scenarios, man. I could put together a book, a series, a movie.
You
I
can
got all
write a
type of
book.
stuff I couldn't even make up fighting over Kool-Aid. He drank the last Kool-Aid. I said, what's really going on here? It's
Right.
really them
It's
being
gotta
in
be.
that. It's really something bigger than that. But that's the short fuse that got it. But it was really more than just the Kool-Aid. It was everything else, but the Kool-Aid was what was the tipping point. The last Kool-Aid.
That's crazy.
The last drop of Kool-Aid. Yeah, I couldn't make this stuff up, man. I
So let me ask you this. So Foundation of Black Americans, it's beneficial to us to join the police department, join the sheriff's department, join the firemen's, and join all these agencies that police our community. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Because let me ask you this.
Right.
When you ran up on Google, when you ran up on some kids, right? And you saw they was basketball players, good kids, all packed in a car. How did you handle that situation as opposed to pulling your gun out and telling everybody to get out the car?
Well, you got to assess the situation. You got to see. You try to kind of see who you're dealing with. You still got to be safety first. You never know. They might be annoyed and paranoid, and one of them may have. You gotta secure the situation, and then assess the situation. Every situation is different. I don't know. I mean, every situation is different that you come up on.
So do you stop them for no reason? Or
You got to have a probable cause. You cannot stop
right.
anybody for no reason.
But
You have to have a probable cause.
But that happens a lot. Or do you stop them because it's a bunch of blacks in the car, youngsters in the car?
I would never do that, so I can't answer that question. I would never do that.
That's the difference.
I have to have a probable cause. I have to have a probable cause to stop them.
That's the difference between a black cop and a white cop. That's why we need black cops in our communities. Because you will stop them for a probable cause. You don't stop them because they stacked on each other. Because
there's many times I was in the car with a whole bunch of my friends and we wasn't doing nothing.
Yes,
only one person that was able to get access to a car.
Exactly.
We had no money to get around. We were just happy to get a ride to wherever we was going.
But we did it all the time in Chatham. Billy Burton,
and it not just in Chatham, it happens all over. But
Billy Burton had a Pinto. Y'all don't know, you was younger. Remember the Pinto? Billy Burton used to have a Pinto. We used to stack us in that Pinto like crazy just to go into the park. It would be like 6 people in a Pinto. You know how small Pintos were.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's when I was saying earlier, if you from a small town and a country town and you know that they're hiring as 90, you're aware that they making 90,000, 70,000 start out, and you in this dairy farm and you're like, man, let me go down there and get this police job, make this
Or if
money.
you're a racist. Or if you're a racist.
Right.
That's just keeping a buck. If you're a racist and you're joining the police department, you're raised to be a racist, then you come down there with a whole different attitude.
That's why I was saying everybody gets the power of this badge and this gun and everything, but you have different personalities depending on where you come from or experience of being around a diversity of people
Right.
and your life experience. So that's the difference.
Correct. So Daniel grew up in Philly. So Daniel, I know, did y'all get stopped a lot? Did y'all get pulled over a lot in Philly?
I mean, a segment of people did. Yeah, segment of people did. I never really got stopped like that. Maybe a few times.
But like, how was the interaction?
But like the gentleman says, they got to have probable cause before they can stop you. They got to have probable cause, even though some police do violate that. Not all. You know what I'm saying?
True.
It mostly be the the racist ones. But they can't stop you unless they got probable cause. That's a fact.
So let me ask this: in Philly, did you view 50%, 60%, 70%, less than 50% of the officers down in Philly in the neighborhoods that were white as racist?
I can't get an exact percentage. It was mostly like in the it was mostly like in the Frankfurt area that people used to have problems. Northeast. It depends. For the most part, I never really had any problems with it. I really never had no problems like that.
I never did either. So let me ask you this, Stan, did you run into racist white cops, or was that a very small percentage?
What are you talking about, growing up?
No, in the department.
Oh yeah, well nobody's gonna be blatant about it in the department.
Okay.
Nobody, if they were, they're not gonna be blatant about it.
Right.
But I will tell you, I will tell you a story that happened to me. I had an injury and I was off work for a little while, and I was getting rehab. It was an injury on duty, so I was getting rehabilitation, and I was going to a chiropractor in a certain area. And I had worked with a white officer, and we worked on. I was working on a wagon, and he lived in the area, and we worked together. And he was cool. He was cool with me, and actually we went by his apartment and stuff, and went in his apartment because he worked in the district, and everything was cool. He was we great. So I got injured, and he hadn't seen me for probably half the year, or maybe a whole year. I was off for a while. I had a bad injury. And I was coming from my physical therapy down the street where he lived, and I saw the wagon there, and I saw him in the driver's seat, and I saw another white officer sitting in the passenger seat. The officer in the passenger recognized me from the district, and I'm in civilian dress. And I'm like, hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing and stuff? So the officer in the passenger seat, he's talking to me normal because he recognized me. The officer that I had worked with prior and went by his apartment, worked in the area, he's asking me, where you coming from? And I'm not catching on that he doesn't recognize me. I'm like, oh, from physical therapy, from the chiropractor right down the street, down the corner. Which corner? I like, woo! I said, oh, he don't recognize me. I'm
Right.
like, whoa. Then I went to 10. I got real hot. I'm like, oh, I got to control myself. I said, you know what? I'm out. Nice to talk to you. And I had to go because I was about to snap.
Right.
And so when I got back to work and in uniform, he sees me. He's running to me. Hey, how you doing? I'm like,
Right.
yeah, you didn't show your hand, brother. I see who you are. We good.
Right.
And I like, so this is who he really is, because I'm the same guy. He saw me. I said, so this is how he treats people. You know, when I was in uniform, we was cool. I'm by his house. We be out getting along, hanky dorky.
That's
He
crazy.
just saw. He didn't even recognize me. I'm just walking down the same street, coming from physical therapy, and he's like, you know, so you people, you know, they're not gonna do it in front of you, you know.
Right. 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 Right.
So you know.
So you couldn't take him in the back room and beat his ass?
You know, I just found out who he was. I found out who he really was and how he's treating black and brown when I'm
On
not
the street.
around. When
On the
I'm not
street.
around,
Exactly.
how
Exactly.
he was treating black and brown when I was not around, because he was treating me the same way, because he actually didn't recognize me. I'm sitting there and other guys looking at him like that's he worked with us, you know, like what? So
Right.
and I stepped off because I was about to snap, and I just let me go
Right.
ahead. Let me take me out his game. But when I see him back at the station, we do not put me on a car with this dude.
Right.
So that's you know. So you know, like I say, if they got those personal issues, they're not gonna show it, because if it
Right.
gets out there, then they're gonna be disciplined a whole lot. It's gonna be a problem and stuff. So you know,
Wow, that's
that was
crazy.
just my personal experience.
Right.
I
Well,
had some
man,
other ones, but I
go
ain't
ahead. Go ahead. Break it down, brother. Break it down.
No,
Let's hear
I
it.
mean, okay. I'll tell you another personal experience I had. I was at the same roll call room. I've been working with these same officers for like 4 or 5 years. And they were younger than me. I had more time
Okay.
than me. And like I was working a third watch where I work from 3 to 11 or 4 to midnight. And after I would get off, I'm still wide awake at 4. It's like getting off at 5 o'clock. Whoever gets off at 5 o'clock, people don't wind down until about 10 o'clock till the news come on and go to sleep. So it's midnight. I just got out of work. I'm five. It's 12 o'clock in the morning. So in my area, there's a lot of bars and restaurants and clubs and stuff. So a lot of times I would to go to a spot, have me a little glass of wine to wind down, and you know, till I get a little tired and sleep and go home. So a couple of guys, white guys, that came into the same place that I was in, and we just got off the same shift. I'm in uniform. I mean, I'm out of uniform. They don't even recognize me. Either they recognize me or they ain't acknowledging me, but they sitting next to me and they don't recognize me. I'm like, are these? I'm like, kept on looking at them, and I'm like, dude, I'm like, they cannot not know, because we work in the same shift in the same roll call room. And I'm like, are they that detached? They don't recognize me? And I believe they really didn't recognize me. Because I came in this place random, sitting at the bar, talking to my buddy who works behind the bar, you know, just to kill some time. And these guys come in, sit down, and they're not even speaking to me. Because I'm trying to figure out, do they recognize me? I really don't think they recognize me. So it's you know, that was another strange experience, you know. And then
That's crazy.
I got more.
I believe you got a whole lot more.
Yeah.
But check it out. Listen, man, this is very productive, and we need FBA, Foundation of Black Americans, to join the police force, join the sheriff's department, and join the FBI agencies, and the fire department. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be back on, Goob. I gotta get you back on here, bro. We gotta chop it up. We've been on the hour. Y'all didn't know that, but we've been on the hour, man. Man, listen, thanks for being on here. And like and subscribe, y'all. We're trying to get 2,500 subs within 30 days. Like and subscribe. and we're gonna have Goob. I call him Goob, but his name is Stan. We're gonna have him back on here again, along with Brother Daniel. You know, I was trying to get a fireman on here. We get him on here next time. But listen, man, thanks, my brothers, for let me show this real quick.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Like and subscribe. We're trying to get 2,500 subs. Help us out. And we are going to end it on this. That honesty is the best policy. Tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, y'all. Stan, we'll talk later on. Brother Daniel, of course, we'll talk later on. And we're going to end it on there. All right, y'all. Peace.
right.
Yes, sir.
Good conversation.
Peace. Peace.
I love you, Thomas.
Peace.